Good for you. Yep. All right. So beautiful. So finally, we get to the place where you are a nurse. So, Tina, you're a nurse now, right? You finally graduated nursing school. Where do you start off as nursing? As a brand new newbie nurse, what are your nursing dreams at the time? Are you thinking you're going to be in oncology? Are you going to do L&D? Like, what was you as a brand new nurse thinking, and what was your first job in that whole
Well,
situation?
my at first, I when I did my clinicals in labor and delivery and those type, mother baby, I
Yeah.
knew I didn't want to do that. And then when I did my clinicals at a pediatric hospital, I knew I didn't want to do that. So there are things that I'm a very deep feeler, so I my emotions run very very deep, and I have a hard time separating sometimes with, especially if I relate too closely with someone. So children, I want to associate them with my children, and I just get too emotionally involved. So I was like, I can't do that. And then mothers having babies at a young age, I can't. It's just too familiar. I guess I'm too close to that situation, especially if they're struggling and I see that they're not in a good place. It's too hard. It would be too hard for me to not take that home and worry about it. Um, and so I thought that's probably not a healthy place for me to go emotionally. I probably need to be. And so I really saw myself working with more of an older population, not necessarily just geriatrics, but just in adult medicine, adult care. And so I started out at a small hospital working in a step down cardiac unit. And it was interesting. It was a 5-to-1 ratio. A lot of people coming in with chest pain and then put on heparin drips, and coming in with AFib with RVR and needing cardioversions and that sort of thing. There was just a lot of cardiac, and it was really fun and interesting, a lot to learn. But the let's see, without I don't want to again I don't want to be negative about anyone, and I know that someone listening to this would know what hospital I'm talking about, so I was trying to be careful, but I wasn't comfortable with how I felt like I was able to take care of patients at that hospital. And so I contacted someone that was at the level 1 trauma center that where I work now. And I just said, I really would love to work there. And they were like, we would love to have you come on, apply, and so I only was at that other hospital like 3 months when I knew I needed to get out of there and go somewhere else. And I've been there at this other hospital ever since. And it's like a progressive care floor. It's step down. It's 3-to-1 ratio. The patients are very acutely ill, can't have the potential to be unstable. So it's very, just always something going on.
Yeah. No. So a million questions just has rained down upon me while you were talking, right? So let me just start by congratulating you, right? Because um, I don't know if this is just something that just comes natural to you, but there are so many nurses. The first job I took, I didn't feel totally comfortable there too, right? Like to say the least. And I'm doing the same thing you are. You don't want to be negative about the place. It could also be just because I was a new nurse, but whatever the situation is, I wasn't comfortable there too, right? I did what I think most nurses do. I stayed there much longer than I feel like I should have before moving, but I also was in your situation where I only had my associate's degree, and all of the places I wanted to go were hospitals. And here in Mass, they were super strict about you need to be in an RN program, or you need to have, I mean, you need to be in an RN to BSN program, or you need to have your BSN. So literally the day, the second, the hour, I was like halfway through my RN to BSN program, like infinite amounts of applications to every hospital I possibly could. And then finally, when I got in, thanks to a friend, and they were like, "Yeah, you should come work here." And like, finally, I am very happy at the hospital I work at now. Um, but I just wanted to just congratulate you because I see way, way, way too many nurses stay in places they feel uncomfortable at. They feel like it's unsafe. They feel just uneasy about the situation. And number one, it's unsafe. It really is unsafe. So if you can't make that issue known to the manager and get it fixed, you need to move on so you are safe and you feel comfortable and you're not like anxiety filled every single day. And then on top of that, if you do decide to stay and you are dealing with all this anxiety every day, that is like just burnout waiting to happen. So just Tina, it just makes me really happy when I hear nurses say, I felt uncomfortable or I didn't feel safe and I moved and I made the decision. Because as a nurse, you literally can get a job any single place in like the world. Not, forget about America, forget about where you live, forget whatever the situation. Even if there's no hospital, you can work at a VNA, you can work at a clinic, you could do anything until you can find that place where you feel safe and challenged and all of that stuff all put in together. So I love the fact that you did that. Like that just makes me so 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 happy. It just makes me really really happy that that's how you went about it, right?